Hey, love bugs. It's Yvonne, the Motivator Man, and welcome to Dear Daughter, the mother of all shows. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. And I know you're like, girl, what happened to your hair? Nothing happened to my hair. I want to show you this beautiful bonnet in its African print made by my girl. Tamika Jeffries. You can find her on Facebook under Tamika Jeffries. The bonnet is $15, and if you get a matching mask, it's $25. So if you're going to wear a bonnet out in the street, which I advise you not to, it's not a good look, ladies. But if you're going to, this one is an acceptable bonnet. You see, I matched it with my glasses, my shirt. I can run into the grocery store and not look like a hood booger. Okay, and I don't want y'all to look like that either. So go on over there to Tamika and get your bonnet. I want to talk to you a little bit today about fear. False evidence appearing real. A lot of times we don't do things because we're fearful. We're afraid of applying to the college because we don't think our grades are good enough. We're afraid for applying for that job because we don't think that we have the skills for it. We're afraid to go into a relationship because what happened before. We're afraid to talk to our parents, because we don't think they'll listen. And all that fear is not real. That's something that's made up in your head, and it eventually keeps you from doing things that really could put you in a position in life to go forward. Fear is debilitating. It's crippling. And it can even grip you so hard that you feel a physical feeling from it. I'm scared of heights. Why? I've never been dropped from heights, but I'll watch a movie and someone could be on a tightrope walking like up in the air, and there's no Ned, and he's like 100 feet up. My stomach starts hurting, literally, because I feel fear. I'm not on the tightrope. He is. Evidently, he knows what he's doing, but heights scare me. Now, that's false evidence appearing real for me because I'm never going to be that high up. So I don't ever have to worry about falling 100 feet, in a plane, but I'm not fearful of flying. Imagine that. You're not fearful of flying, but you're fearful of heights. Yeah, humans are really complex, aren't they? But I'm talking about that type of fear that just holds you back. Sometimes it's the fear of just being who you are because you don't believe that people will like the authentic you. You see one girl acting one way, one woman acting another, and you see them being accepted, and you're not like any other people around you, and you're saying to yourself, they're not going to like me, I'm different. You may have even been called weird. You've been, isolated because of maybe how you think, how you dress, how you walk, how you talk, how you wear your hair. Girl, I feel you. I was that chick. I still am that chick, but I'm older now, so I don't care. But when you're younger, it's really kind of hard to fit in when you don't fit in and you're really not supposed to. What do you mean by you're not supposed to? You're not. If you're that different from everybody else, you better believe there's a reason for it and there's a purpose for your difference. And you just have to take a moment and look at that, why you've been set aside, because God has a plan for your life and he can't have everybody around you because you listen to everybody's voice and not his. And when you're listening to everybody else's voice, then you can't go where God wants you to go. So you have to let go of that fear. You just have to do it afraid. When I realized that I wanted to speak for a living, it was very fearful because, I'm looking at Lisa Nichols and Tony Robbins and Les Brown, and I'm like, I can never be like them. You're right. You're not supposed to be. I'm supposed to be Yvonne, the Motivator Man. I do her really, really good. Trust me, I do a good rendition of Yvonne. I would probably do a bad rendition of Tony because that's not me. Tony's story is one and my story is another. And as a speaker, our story is the reason why people call us and say, hey, can you come and speak to my folks? My story is very unique as I am, and it's okay. Growing up, I was always different. When everybody else in high school was listening to rap, I was listening to Mozart. I like rap. I really do. I love rap, but I also love classical music, if you didn't know who Mozart was. I was listening to a radio station, which was WRVR, which was one of the first jazz stations in New York. And I love jazz. So when those Walkmans first came out, everybody else in their ears had the Sugar Hill Gang. Ooh, I'm dating myself. But I was listening to all of the jazz greats. I was listening to Miles Davis, one of my favorites, Grover Washington, and I was ostracized for it. I also love gospel music, which I blast in my car. And young people will say to me, why are you blasting that music? Well, the same way you blasting Pop Smoke, because I like it. I like it. So being different to me, I had to get used to it. I totally understand. And it is fearful trying to navigate this world when your walk is in a straight line. It's up and down and curves and sides and all of this. It's a scary place to be. But you have to just hold on to your faith and know that you were made for a time such as this, just to be who you are. And yeah, go ahead and fill out that college application and do it now. You don't want to wait until August, because if by chance you don't make it in, what's the worst that could happen? You have to fill out another application. Trust me, your parents know exactly how much those applications cost. And you can always get you a part-time job just for applications to college. Did you ever think of that? Wow. Let me work at Dairy Queen Saturday and Sunday for a couple of hours, and that will cover my college applications. There's a thought. Imagine that. Fill it out. Like I said, the worst that could happen, you're not accepted, but you will be accepted at some college. And when you go to that college, make sure your grades are that good that you can transfer to the college of your dreams. Just because something doesn't happen right away doesn't mean it's going to happen. When I decided, or put it this way, when I accepted the call in my life to be a speaker, my phone wasn't ringing. I had to ring those phones. Hey, my name's Yvonne. I'm a motivational speaker. I would love to come to click. Oh, okay, you hung up. All right. But now those same people that either hung up or were like, no, we don't have any call. Well, whoever you spoke to before, who are you affiliated with, are now sending me text messages saying, hey, I got your number from so-and-so. You spoke at such and such a place. Would you love to come and speak for us? And I always say, I will get back to you within 24 and 48 hours. So now I don't have to worry about phones hanging up on me. I now am being approached. I was fearful in the beginning, but I continued every Sunday night going online, seeing where the events were, making phone calls Monday morning. That's what my Sundays consist of. I came home from church. I found out where the events were, and Monday I made my phone calls. That's all I lived for until, like I said, my phone starts ringing. I too was very afraid to fill out my college application. I wanted to go to University of New Haven. I was very scared that they wouldn't accept me. And I was even more afraid to speak to my parents about going because that's in Connecticut. I live on Long Island, and I just felt my parents weren't going to let me go. Well, they did let me go. And their main fear was, they had fear that I wasn't going to do well because I had to live off campus. And I did very well until I fell in love and decided to come home. And I went to Nassau Community College. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother show. We'll get into it one day. But I was fearful. I was very fearful. I was in the radio and television department when I was at the University of New Haven. When I came back to Nassau, that program was filled. So I was very scared that, oh my God, I won't get into the curriculum that I want to. And I didn't. But I did get into the African American Studies curriculum, which opened up a whole new world for me. So you may be fearful and it may not be what you want, but I tell you this, there's a plan for your life. And no matter where you put your feet, you may go left and God will always bring you right. So don't worry about it. You just have to do it. You know, you have to make a movement. You have to make a step. You just can't sit there in fear and just be scared. Relationships. Okay, you had a relationship. It didn't work out. He didn't love you the way you wanted him to love you. Oh my God, I saw it with another girl. I'll never love again. Yeah, you will. And you'll love again. And you'll love again. And you'll love again. And you'll love again. Because we're humans and we're to interact with people. Why don't you look at the good part of the relationship and look at the bad part of the relationship and just tell yourself, my next relationship, I'm going to take the good with me, but I will definitely not take the bad. So, going to go to break, and when we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about fear, how to overcome it, and how to push past to get to your destination. Be right back.
The one, the only, Magnifico the Magnificent. He will do the super back and forth, up and down, triple somersault. The only such somersault done anywhere, by anyone in any place in the world. And there he goes. He made it. What a man. Say, but there's Joe the Schmo. He doesn't look very happy about the whole thing. He's going to try the super somersault, too. And better be careful, Joe. And there he goes, and Joe says no. But why, Joe? Joe says no again. Oh, Joe, you schmo. Don't be a schmo, Joe. Be in the know, Joe. Religion and race just don't count in this place. So be in the know, Joe, wherever you go, Joe. Remember that, Joe, you won't fall on your face.
Hi, I'm David Axterby of Long Island Telecom. We are your cellular superstar. We have the best in no-contract cellular on every carrier in the United States. We also do portable MiFi units, home phone service. We could beat your cable company at their own game by providing you very inexpensive TV, and we are a Sirius XM dealer as well. We can create a website for you, give you a special corporate email, and we do credit card processing. 631-833-9679.
Love Bugs, you came back good. I'm ready for part 2. How about you? And I tell you, more about fear. When I started my podcast, Determined Women of Destiny, which you can tune into every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook, there were many people that said there wasn't a call for someone to interview female entrepreneurs. And I said, and I don't care if it's a call or not. This dropped in my spirit, so I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And every Thursday night when you tune in, you'll be able to hear about a female entrepreneur, her journey, why she started, all her problems that she goes through being a female entrepreneur, her ups, her downs, how she's overcome them, and absolutely some motivation they give to you if you want to go in that business or you want to go into business at all. It's a really good show. It's great guests, good talk. Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. If I would have listened to the fear, and if I would have listened to the fear of other people, and that's the only reason why folks was telling me there's no call for it, because they knew that I would be successful and they were fearful of my success. Because sometimes people see in you what you don't see in you. Because people always told me, you know, oh, well, you talk too much, you talk too loud, all of this stuff that can dissuade you from speaking. And it almost shut my mouth. But as I keep telling you, my initials are YAP. My married ex-husband's name is Mann. My maiden name is Poole. My initials are YAP, Yvonne Annette Poole, Yap. What else was I supposed to do in life with a name like that? Come on, give me a break. I was supposed to be silent? Absolutely not. So I don't care if someone thinks I talk too much. I don't care if someone thinks I talk too loud. Just for the record, I don't talk loud. I have a voice that carries because I have volume. And we don't mind people talking loud as long as they got something to say. It's the fools we want to shut up, right? If I would have listened to that fear inside of me that said, listen to those people and their fear, I would have never had that show that you're going to watch this Thursday at 7 p.m. You just have to do it afraid. Everything in your life comes with fear. Everything. The next step in my life is so fearful. I'm telling you, I fell in my refrigerator yesterday because I'm an emotional eater. I fell in my refrigerator yesterday. When I fell out, I was like, if you eat another thing, I'm going to pinch you. Because it's kind of scary, the next phase of my life. Because I don't know all the ins and outs of everything that I need to do. But if I keep on this journey, I know everything I need will be given to me. If you have a dream that is so big that you say, I will never be able to do it, that's exactly what you need to do. Because if you could do it by yourself, what would God need to have anything to do with it? Really? And when we're given dreams that are so big that only God can make it happen, then we cry out to Him. So for all of you that are searching and that's wondering, what's this big God thing? The big God thing is one thing only. You were created on this planet to do something. And if you don't know what it is, then you need to go to your Creator and ask, what did you create me to do on this planet? Give me your master plan to get it done so that my life is not in vain. The graveyard is the place that is most filled with fear and dreams. I can't tell you how many people have died taking their dreams with them because they were so fearful while they were alive. They never got anything done. I don't know about you. I got one life. I ain't trying to go out of here with nothing. I want to be totally empty. Everything that was given to me, I want to give it to y'all. And that is very scary. Because what if what's given to me you don't want? That's something to think about. But I can't be concerned about that. My concern is to do what I've been created to do, what my life is purposed for. And I run into people all the time that make me very fearful of that because everybody doesn't accept me. They would like for me to be much different, probably more cultured, more polished. It's not that I can't be. Trust and believe. I can put on a Harvey Bernard suit with the hick pleat at the skirt with some pumps, put my hair in a French roll and speak to you very eloquently because not only was I raised well by Centil Southern Belle, I've also been schooled very well. But I will not play into someone else's hands. So you get to see this right here, raw, hunty, and I'm good with that. And y'all are too, because I don't hear anybody listening to me complaining. As a matter of fact, you guys always say, I love the fact that you're so real. And I promise you, that's what you'll always get when you come to Yvonne, is real. I can't sugarcoat nothing, and I will not play it up to make anybody else satisfied. This is my life, and I'm going to live it out loud. So I want you guys to fill out those college applications. And as far as a job, let me break that down for you. Steve Jobs said it best. You don't know who Steve Jobs is? What type of phone you got? It's an iPhone, right? He is the creator of it. Whew. Google him. Anyway, because he has a lot of good stuff to say about business and about humanity. But Steve Jobs said, lower level jobs are like a revolving door. People come in and go out. Anybody can do it. It's the high level jobs that are always open because people always feel that they can't fill them. So, the job calls for a bachelor's degree. You don't even have an associate's. I don't even think they have an associate's degree anymore, do they? But you have experience in the field of that job. Apply for it. You know why? Experience will trump the heck out of education. I'm not saying that you don't get it, please. Go get not one, not two, but if you can get 3 degrees, knock yourself out. Because that paper means you get the paper. But if you don't have the paper, don't count yourself out. If you have experience, apply for the job. The only thing they can tell you at the interview is, oh, I'm sorry, we're only accepting applicants that have either a bachelor's or a master's. Thank you so much for your time. And when you're almost ready to walk out the door, turn around and say, but with my experience, is there a position here that I would be available to apply for? And watch that person sit back and think about it and then tell you, let me give you a call back. Please do, love. So you didn't get the job you wanted, but you may have opened a door to a job in that company so that maybe you can work your way up. Everybody's not cut out for college. I got that. There are so many trade schools. I left college because I fell in love and I went to beauty school. I worked Fashion Week for so many years. There's so many ads that you saw my hand in. You didn't even notice it. You didn't even know it. And now I do mortuary cosmetics. That's right. If you die, I'm going to do your makeup. That's the only makeup that I do. I don't do anybody's face anymore. I don't do face week. I don't do Fashion Week anymore. All of that is done. I still am in love with the field and always will be, because that was my very first love, was doing makeup and doing hair. I could have been very fearful at applying for Fashion Week because when I applied, I was in my middle 40s. Everybody else was in their early 20s, 19, 20. I was 44 years old, my first Fashion Week. And I worked every year for the next 10 years, and I was still one of the oldest hairstylists and nail techs working on Fashion Week. Right next door to them little bitty ones, knocking it out. But fear almost kept me from that. And it was a 20-some-odd-year-old nail technician that said to me, you should come with me to this event. And it was at 3:30 in the morning. I was like, child, I can't get up. She says, no, you should come. I went. They needed an extra nail technician. I did nails, and the rest was history. If I was afraid, I would have never, ever, ever had that experience. And I'm telling you, Fashion Week in New York, ooh, child, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it. You just cannot. So if school isn't for you, find a trade. You know, and for women, there's some trades that are traditional for us: carpenters, plumbers, auto mechanics. I went to school with a girl who took auto mechanics in high school. She was one of the top auto mechanics at Sears when they had their automotive department. You could not do anything in there without her. So who would have ever thought? And as pretty as she was, and as girly as she was, that auto mechanics was her thing. I get it, you know? Some women like that. Okay. But don't be fearful to go after your dreams. And I don't care who says it. Oh, well, I don't know why you want to do that. Well, you're not supposed to know. Guess what? It's not your dream. And do me a favor, close your mouth. Because all that talking that you're doing, you're talking yourself out of it, and you're giving people the ability to talk you out of it too. And they will if they can. Everybody around you is not for you. So you think, well, I'm telling them my dream and they're taking it all in. And, oh, well, why do you want to do that? You know, it seems so boring. Or girls don't do that. Or what makes you think you can do that? Or I don't know. Right. You know why? Because they're scared. If you're successful, you go here and you leave them right down here, running their mouths, talking about, I don't think you can do it, while you're up here doing it. You know what I mean? Stop listening, stop talking, start doing. Motivation is a movement word. It's an action word. It's a verb. Y'all know what a verb is? It's an action word. So you got to put some action to your life. And when you start moving, fear will be a thing of the past. As soon as you go past one thing you're afraid of, you get the strength to know that the next thing is going to be a piece of cake. And the next thing is going to be a piece of cake. And then you get the next dream and the next dream. And then there's going to come a dream that's so big, it's going to look like a brick wall. And when you bust through there, baby, I'm telling you, there's nothing that can stop you. Even though I'm a little fearful right now in my life, there's nothing that can stop me. Absolutely nothing. Not one tongue wagging saying anything. Not one thing happening, because I know I'm living right now in the space and the place that God has put me. Before I leave, repeat after me. I am a woman of destiny. My purpose and the plan for my life has been laid out for me. I cannot fail. I can only succeed because I'm a woman of destiny. And I hope to see you this Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, checking out the show. So until next time, love bugs, hugs, smooches, and kisses.